Today, I'm going to be showing you how I beat round 20 of the Robo Bear challenge as a level 17 blue hive. Alright, so as this plays throughout, I'm going to be telling you all the tips and tricks that I especially used to get there, but I'm also going to be honest, it does take quite a bit of luck to get through the challenge completely, or at least to round 20 as a blue hive. Some guaranteed bees that you're gonna definitely need, like if you don't have them, you're cooked, is number one, vicious bee. You should always have a vicious bee. If you don't have it, then I'm sorry, the round's done. You should also get windy bee. Very good, very important. Can collect a lot of honey at the beginning and tokens throughout, which is helpful when you're trying to avoid enemies. And the last one is tabby bee, just because tabby bee has a lot of pollen collecting. Okay, so when choosing your quests, from like rounds 1 to 8 or 9, you can pick the one that gives you more cogs at the beginning. Like if I had a goo quest at the beginning, or like a red pollen quest but it gave me more, that's when I could pick the red pollen quest, because you should most likely be able to do it. But if not, then I'd still rather you go for the easier kind of quest. I'd say after rounds 1 through 8, or even like earlier than that, don't pick goo quests. Goo quests aren't going to help you, and as you can see, I want to avoid gummy bee as much as possible, because gummy bee is not that helpful for this challenge. Okay, so round 5 is your first important quest. It'll give you either like a certain amount of red, white, or blue pollen, shouldn't be too hard, and then 25 mosquitoes, and that's what you want to focus on, is getting those mosquito kills. The pollen should come along as you go, but if you're even lower than level 17 and you're just trying to get to bronze cog amulet, then you're definitely going to want to go for that pollen first. Throughout the entire run, you always want to focus on dodging those attacks. I mean, it may not be that serious in the beginning rounds, but later on, you'll see it gets super important. I always prefer to go for a bigger variety of bees than to go for the same buoyant bee over and over again. Honestly, it may sound weird, but you're going to prefer tadpole bee over buoyant bee. Even though the damage is really bad, the bubbles are what's mainly going to collect most of your pollen, and so having a lot of frogs around can help you, and they also deal a little bit of damage too. This isn't necessary, but I put on a rage bee on my team just because the rage can be helpful. You don't need it, but if you're really trying to get a high score, that damage is everything. It's important to have other people helping you, especially with goo quests. They can drop gumdrops down, they can throw jelly beans, and if they have fuzzy bee, that is super important, because fuzzy bee becomes super helpful in the later rounds. And as a blue hive, you normally only have one gifted fuzzy bee, and so having all of those with other people is always helpful. I personally prefer to use goo over red. You see right here, I got a red quest and a goo quest. I picked the goo quest because red pollen, only do that if that's your last resort, you can do nothing else. Never ever pick red pollen unless you absolutely have to. Your boosts are everything. Using every single boost you possibly can. Pop super smoothies, use glitter, and especially pine tree if you're gonna go for pine tree a lot, which you should if you're blue. Use your sticker stacker, donate an egg to the wind shrine, do everything you possibly can to get yourself a boost, because that could make or break your game. Now round 10 is the first actual tricky quest, because it has you go around the map and look for cog mowers. For cog mowers, you're going to want to use stingers as frequently as possible, but also save enough stingers to get you through the whole run. So to do Robo Bear Challenge and actually get far, you're going to definitely have to have stingers stacked in your inventory, because you'll need to use them any chance you get. And later on, when I talk about which quest to get, you're going to want to attack 95% of the time. Be sure you try and see where the cog mowers are as soon as possible. Even when you're in a field attacking cog mowers, look around and try and see if there are any in your eyesight, because if there's not, then you know that it's farther away from you and you can head straight to the cannon to get that extra little bit of speed. Now, if you have attack, go straight for the cog mowers. I got lucky this run and I got cog mowers in Pine Tree Forest, but if you don't, still, it doesn't matter, always go straight for them. So some abilities that you're going to want to get, especially if they upgrade blue pollen, white pollen, attack, those are really important. And if you don't have any of those, but you do have more cogs per round, those are really good too. Cogs per round is important. Now, a lot of quests and upgrades have some downsides. So for a quest, I would say never ever, no matter what hive color you are, pick a quest that has you convert honey or convert pollen at hive. That is gonna absolutely just tear your game apart. Quests that do have to collect pollen or honey, if you have instant conversion, then the honey one is fine, but you're always probably gonna wanna prefer pollen. So if you have a red hive, don't go for blue, but go for white. If you have a blue hive, don't go for red, but go for white. White is better than the exact opposite of your color. Never use your quest reroll until round 20, because if you waste it on a quest that could be possible without it, then that wouldn't be great. So since like rounds 15 and 20 have you pick between red, white, and blue pollen, you're always going to want to pick blue, because if you're watching this, you're probably a blue hive. If you get an extra quest reroll from one, or I think there's like 2 that can give you an extra quest reroll, then if you have it, then you can use it on round 15, because that could also make or break. Right now I'm on round 15 during this, and as long as you keep moving around and have that haste, you should be good against the mega mosquitoes, as they're not actually too bad if you keep your movement. Once you make it to round 15, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have like a lot of drives on. They'll be super important. Drives give you like times 1.25 blue pollen and blue attack if it's a blue drive, and then same thing for the red and white ones, and the glitch drive does it for just any bee. So this is like, drives really help at the end of the game, especially on round 20. I used a glitch drive, and they might be expensive, but it's worth it if you're going for that amulet. Once you get later on in the game, you'll start to see those cog turrets. I think after like round 10 they can show up, and I actually hate them with a burning passion. So I always immediately try to kill them first, because they do a ton of damage compared to everything else in the Robo Bear challenge, which can definitely break your game if you die, especially on like round 20. By this point, I was stressing out. I was at round 20. I was so close. And after I attempted this so many times, and I made my friends suffer by helping me for hours and hours, I finally got to round 20, and I didn't sell, and I actually beat it. Round 20 is just a harder version of round 10, which sucks because I actually hate round 10 with a burning passion. I went straight for the cog mowers, and I immediately at the start of the round used a glitch drive. I recommend using glitch drives or on the last round, or any drives. Make sure you use them at the beginning of the round to get the most use out of it. If you know that you didn't use it and you don't have a lot of time, don't waste your items magically hoping it's going to get you all the way back up to the top. You just gotta accept defeat. I died, and I thought my game was over. And in the end, I came back, and I was like, look, I died. We're gonna see if we can make this. And I eventually got it. So if you wanna watch the gameplay, I'll have the gameplay. If not, you can just kind of skip to the end of the video. You'll be able to hear how excited I was to beat it. Cover your ears though, because it might be kind of loud.
I'm almost there. I'm so close. I'm so close. Yes! I did it! I beat round 20!
Round 21, I proceeded to get destroyed. Here were the rewards that I got. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And let me know what videos you want to see down in the comments below. And if you have any other strategies for doing well in the Robo Bear Challenge. I'll see y'all in the next video.